because the woke mind virus, something which seems to have caught some of the people around here, including my Jewish brother here, is convincing
I am
people
far from woke.
of all kinds of silly ideas. And it doesn't matter if we go to another planet, we still have to deal with other human beings.
Yeah.
And if we don't have our social alignments correct, if we don't have our hierarchies correct in how we relate to other human beings, we're not going to be able to get there.
So are you a Gene Roddenberry type guy? Because that's what it sounds like.
I liked Star Trek DS9 the most because it had religious themes and had broken away from Roddenberry's silly materialism and his secularism. I think
you think Roddenberry's vision was materialism in the TOS and TNG, because if anything, it was.
He would not allow TOS to talk about money because he thought we would be beyond money once we got into. Well, sorry, but that's not how the world works. That's not how the world ends up working. Economics is real, right? And so, and human beings are real, and spirituality is real, and religiosity is real. And these are things that we have to incorporate in how we deal with space. I want to see humanity be an intergalactic, if that's possible, species. But I don't think you're going to get there if you don't have something pointing you towards heaven. And what points you towards heaven is something like the Bible, not something like Star Trek.
Real quick, on a scale of 1 to 10, what would you rate Lita?
I am not aware of Lita.
Rom's wife in DS9.
Of course you picked the Bravo girl.
Yeah, she was super hot, man. God, yeah, she was really hot.
I have to say 7 of 9 was the one.
7 of 9, yeah. I used
Jerry
to beat
Ryan.
off. I'm not gonna lie to you. I used to beat off to her when I was in the 90s, man. 7 of 9. Jerry
We
Ryan.
could have went the rest of our lives and never heard that and been okay.
I'm just gonna let you know, man. I'm just gonna tell you what I used to do.
Hey, man, have you seen Picard season 3?
Yeah, she is kind of bad looking. I will.
I'm still. No, I don't know, man. She's
not the best looking now, but yeah, she was, you know.
Can I ask you guys a question? I understand that, like, back in the 60s, we had all these fantasies that there's like life on Mars and all this stuff. None of that is proven to be true. There's no evidence, and the statistics on whether there could be life on another planet is like 0. No, but here's the thing. No, it's close to 0 scientifically. I believe. I'm not a scientist. But my question is this. If it's all about, like, colonizing, you know, before you go to Mars and colonize, you should colonize Antarctica. But no one lives in Antarctica. No one's ever going to live in Antarctica because it's unfit for human living. Now, could you create something? They do have things in Antarctica where people can survive, but no one wants to live there. So what's the point?
No, you can't.
And that's infinitely better than any other planet.
No, because this is the problem. No, because Ben, you don't realize the Antarctica we can't terraform Antarctica and make it into a livable habitat. It messes up Earth's ecosystem. We can do it on other planets because we don't have to convert their Arctic
that is
points.
Right.
No, you can't just terraform Antarctica. You're a moron. You're gonna mess up the entire ecosystem. Kill us all.
You can do stuff in bubbles.
Remember last year when I was talking about Iceland?
Yeah, but they do that. They have those. Sorry.
And I was saying if you terraform Iceland, you're gonna raise the water levels. You're right. Yeah, you're absolutely right about that.
I would say there are 3...
those stations that they have there in the Antarctic or whatever, that sort of stuff, is they try and mimic that bubble existence or whatever.
Do you have any idea how hot Mars is? You can't. Real quick, you can't farm on Mars.
Nick Todd with the $2 super chat. What's up?
Is there life on?
Why are you talking to Sharon? He's clearly a do funny. He's married. Nick Todd will kick your ass up on the panel for that shit, man. He's married, dude. You gotta do funny. Real quick, Grace, how do you like this nerd talk? Go ahead.
That's why I come here, CT, you know, for scientific expertise. Who's echoing? Is that me?
Yeah, someone doesn't have a
Test. It's
I
literally
hear an
echoing.
echo, for sure.
Wait,
Could it
mute
be,
your mic.
Could it be catch wreck?
Test. Yeah, no, now it's
Yeah,
gone.
Yeah, it stopped. It stopped.
Is it
in a
catch wreck? I
second.
think it's catch
Dude,
wreck.
Catch,
Here,
you're gonna
I'll-
have to put on some headsets.
Here, I'll fix it for him. Hang tight. That should work. All right, go ahead.
Hey, CT, I just wanted to let you know my daughter is in Florida right now, moving in on close as she can to Cape Canaveral to take video of this thing going off. She's going to send it to me. If I get it, if she gets it, I'll send you some of the clips.
Oh,
At least we won't know. We will know it's not CGI.
yeah. Or
Well,
maybe
yeah,
his daughter is in on it. Nut jobs out there.
Yeah, she's down there with my son. They live there in the wintertime, and she's going to look at it.
But there's a million cameras going to be.
I don't know,
Ben,
dude. Like,
what say you
whatever.
about what Hafiz just said about if you terraform like Antarctica, you're going to cause global changes to water.
Okay, you define what the term terraform means?
Terraform, when you change an environment into a habitable landscape for
You can't
life.
terraform Antarctica because nothing will grow in Antarctica.
How do you? Well, yeah.
How do I
Well, that is
know?
true, yeah,
That's
that
too
is
cold,
true.
obviously.
No, no, you can. You can literally lay
terraform-
soil on top of the ice, even if you had to.
Hafez,
And
you're
you can-
so
you can
retarded,
compact-
it's beyond belief. You can put a
do you mean?
greenhouse. You could put an
You can
artificially
build
heated
greenhouses and you can
Okay,
lay
fine,
soil.
but you could do that anywhere. Okay.
But that's not
You're
terraforming.
saying
Yeah,
like,
that's
oh,
not
we could put
making it
soil
habitable.
on Mars.
No, but
It's
you're
at
saying you
10,000
can't grow something.
degrees.
You can,
What
but
the
it
hell
all
do you think is
depends.
gonna live with
No,
10,000
Mars
degrees
Mars
and
isn't
minus
Mars isn't
10,000
10,000
degrees at
degrees.
night?
Mars
You're an
fluctuates
idiot.
between very high temperatures and exceedingly low temperatures
every
because
plant
it
that
doesn't
we
have
can-
an atmosphere.
Every plant that we can consume is can only exist on Earth. Obviously,
No,
it's
no,
been
what you gotta realize.
fine-tuned to live on Earth. You guys
Ben,
are losers.
Ben,
These planets,
you don't
that
think
you
about
can use them
this
for
stuff
mining.
very
You
deeply,
could mine
do you?
stuff. You could mine rocks. That's all they are.
No,
Okay.
the fact is
Right.
that
So-
Mars
Yeah.
Mars
I think
actually
you
has
guys should-
polar ice
all the
caps.
people who are into this should go to Mars and, and enjoy
Mars
yourselves,
actually
right?
has polar ice caps, and that there is if there is polar ice caps on Mars, then
Cannot
there may
grow
be water
plants
on Mars.
on Mars
There used to
outside,
be
idiot.
listen. There used to be water on Mars. We know this.
Well, these are all fantasies.
And no,
You
it's not
cannot
fantasy.
grow
We
a
know
plant.
that there were water on
You cannot
Mars.
grow a
We
plant
have
from the
evidence that there
Were
were
water?
water
You
on
can't
Mars
grow
at one
in the
time.
Antarctica.
CT, you told me there wouldn't be any toasters on these panels.
Toaster, motherfucker.
Oh, who do you think is a toaster?
Trump scares me. I don't know what to say to
I
the
think-
guy.
I think it might be obvious, but there's somebody who
Yes,
doesn't
it is.
who doesn't really care to explore new frontiers. Apparently,
What about settling Antarctica like the Eskimos settled
So-
the Arctic?
so
It-
I
it-
why you have
disagree.
to
You
have
guys are
plans?
just jerk offs. You're
I disagree
comic
with
book
CT.
jerk offs. That's all you are.
I disagreed with CT.
Outer space is just rock.
Safa.
I disagreed with CT that space is the only final frontier. I think there's 3 major frontiers that are being explored right now, and I have profound respect for anybody who's doing any of the 3. And those 3
Why?
are space, it's human psychology and neurology, and the third is oceanography, because there are vast amounts of oceans here on Earth that we have not explored, and we could grow many things in and would be great.
Look,
I mean, Jacob, I could add one more to that. We haven't really drilled into this planet far enough to even we haven't even gone past the crust. I mean, if we could actually get to even the mantle, you know, most of the theories of hypothesis of Earth's core is just hypothesis.
Look, there are
Best-
some
best
people.
guess.
There are some people who look forward to human advancing and flourishing and conquering, and they have a masculine energy to them. And then there are people who have a female energy to them. They want to stay at home. They want to keep things safe and nice and tidy.
Jacob, if
And-
we're going to go
and
into who has
both are
masculine and who
necessary.
has feminine energy, it's relatively obvious who has feminine energy.
Right?
I mean, you sound
think-
like a
I think
lady.
I think both masculine and feminine energies are necessary.
Okay,
I
well,
love women.
That's great for you because you're embodying both.
I love women, and I do. I have no problems. Anybody who wants to say I'm feminine, you go right ahead. I don't care.
Okay, but you're trying to diss me for saying I don't have masculine
I wasn't
energy.
dissing. I was saying there is a masculine energy
It's
and there's
fine.
feminine energy, and we need both of them.
But Jacob, I think you're somewhat aware of the intellectual history of the West, right? So this idea of the new frontier is part of the myth of progress, which is the idea that technology and science and technology is going to hold on.
Fundamental
This is the part of the feminine.
Jacob,
This is the part of the feminine thing, Jacob. Relax for a second. I'm just saying this is. I
Oy
don't think you
vey.
find this controversial. The idea in the 17th, 18th centuries that technology is going to liberate us from the Dark Ages, from the age of religion, right? Obviously, in some ways, you stand as a counterpoint to that, and obviously, what we saw in the First World War, the devastation of the First World War, the Second World War, the devastation of the Second World War, and then the nuclear time. Like, it's time for us to step back from ultra aggression and learn how to live at peace. Obviously, that's the only frontier that's necessary. We live right now on the brink of destroying our own planet. Why the hell would anyone care about another planet?
The difference between the Judeo-Christian Bible, which starts with a beginning and looks forward to an apocalypse.
There's no such thing as a Judeo-Christian Bible. They're antithetical to each other.
That's bullshit. You're a Marcionite.
Yes,
you don't even know what Marcion, who Marcion was. Go look up Marcion.
Judaism rejects Jesus Christ.
Go
How can
look
there be
up
Jewish
Marcion.
The
Christians?
Hebrew scriptures. The Hebrew scriptures are the scriptures of the Jews.
Everyone who believes in Genesis and
That's just what
believes
keeps me in bed, and
a Jewish
I happen to
Messiah,
like it.
which would be any Christian who's actually a Christian and not a Marcionite, right? Understands this very different orientation in the world from the pagan world where everything was cyclical and nothing ever changed and nothing happened to there was a beginning in which God created the world, and we look forward to Revelation / Apocalypse / the Messiah, right?
Yeah.
And that orientation is what has allowed the West to progress over the past 3,000 years.
That's true. But within that, there has been a strain, and it is largely your people who have said, we are going to create a heaven on earth, a utopia. The Bolsheviks, communism, these are Jewish ideas.
You don't even know you're a Catholic.
Nazism
you're
also.
A Catholic heretic, do you?
You don't think it's an historical fact that there was a strain of Jewish utopianism which led to the Bolshevik Revolution?
Zero
come
mainstream Christians believe in a heaven that is separated off the resurrection of the dead on the earth. That is fundamental
60 million Christians and burned down 40,000 churches.
Because Paul of Tarsus included that, and Acts talks about it as well.
Wait, no, Jacob, you're mixing things.
Wait, what are you saying?
Jacob, hold on. He's
Jacob.
he's saying you said that Christians
Maxing
don't
is
believe
the
in
name of
making
the
a heaven
game.
on earth, and he's saying Christians believe there will be a heaven on earth.
But not by man.
Not by
created
man
utopia
is the point.
Oh, I don't believe
of
it would be
social
man-made.
engineering.
Right,
But-
and secular Christians and secular Jews, people who come, who are atheists, who don't believe in God, try to make that happen without God.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
That's true. Secular
And-
Jews. I agree. It's
And
secular
also
Jews.
the
Secular
point-
Christian.
yeah, but dude, like, hold
I
on.
agree.
Like, the whole point of Marxism, communism, I hate when people say that it's Jews who wanted to erase religious Judaism in order to make them not be standing out from the whole. The whole point of the Jewish involvement that you're talking about was to erase their Jewish identity, not to embrace it. So
Yeah,
to use it as a demonstration. They was to erase all religion so that they could erase their own identity, whatever you want to call it. But it wasn't to embrace anything that they were. It was to shed everything that the world was, to find something so that everyone was one. I'm not saying I agree with it. I'm just saying it's a bad thing to say it's a Jew thing because it's an antithesis of a Jew thing.
I
It's
agree,
Jews
but
who are
it is-
trying to shed being Jews.
But it is
Like, you
kind
gotta-
of a Jewish thing. There is some truth.
No.
Oh my God!
No,
dude,
hold on a
that's
minute.
such a trope.
Hold on a minute. No. Like, just because you're Jews doesn't mean you can crucify me, okay?
Whoa!
You wish. You're not worth crucifying.
Oh, so you
would
mean
that I was worthy of
crucifying
being
is a
crucified.
valid way of dealing with somebody?
Well, but you
They're
guys
saving
have
that
to
for
admit
Tucker Carlson.
There are
Right.
two
Too
strains
kind
in
for Ben to
Judaism.
crucify
One
him.
which is messianic, and I admit there are heresies within Judaism, but one of them is this idea that we are going to bring peace to the world. What's that called? Oh, something.
Tikkun olam.
Tikkun
Hold on for a
olam.
second. Kyle with the
Yes.
$5 super chat. I don't know about toasters, but I like the idea of more ovens. That's pretty funny. Go ahead.
And Ben, you know that there are two ways to bring about the repairing of the earth, right? There is one way which is through complete goodness and self-sacrifice, and the other way is through pure evil. Which way do you think they chose?
Who's they?
Well, whoever created this idea of repairing the earth, repairing.
I think there is a legitimate. I mean, what I'm saying is, like Jacob and Gimby, you would recognize there are strains of Jewish thought and Jewish culture. Some of them are pious, and I agree.
Is
Like
Kyle's
Marx was
picture of air and sea.
Marx.
That's what I was thinking,
Marx
too.
was a self-loathing Jew. Benjamin
Marx
Netanyahu.
wasn't Jewish.
No, he was.
Marx's parents converted to Christianity. They sent him to a Christian school. At the Christian school, all the Christians called him the Jew. He hated the fact that his Jewish family rejected his family for converting to Christianity. He hated the Christians because they called him a Jew, despite the fact that he and his family had converted, and that's why he hated all religion. And it was a matter of being raised Christian and seeing Christian hypocrisy, which made him hate Christianity and
Yes,
Judaism.
but he did not systematically kill Jews. He systematically killed Christians.
No, he didn't. He was a
did
thinker.
not. No, the Bolsheviks
much later.
systematically
Well, Marx didn't do
killed
anything.
Jews and Christians.
Jews,
You are the most
Christians,
ignorant person
okay,
who's
that's
been
the
on this
biggest
panel yet,
stupidity.
and that is shocking.
How did we end up here? 10 minutes ago, we were in outer
very, very
I
space.
don't know, man. It all, geez, dude.
Well,
We were
Jacob, I
in
mean,
the space race a few minutes ago.
Jacob,
But
if
as
you
Jacob made clear, we got to get all these differences solved to shoot ourselves into space.
Well, Jacob, it's like if you say like, well, the Israeli project
Personally,
is
I
not a
just shoot
Jewish
these like
project.
to
I
outer
agree, it's
space.
an anti-Jewish project.
Yeah,
But you do have to use the word Jewish also. I mean, it's not irrelevant, the Jewish kind of intellectual heritage.
Look, the Jewish culture has what do you guys call it? The main character problem.
Main
Right?
character
Yeah.
syndrome. Yeah.
Yeah, main
I mean, we have billions of Christians worshiping a Jew. Like,
That
that's
is
a problem.
Worshipping a what?
It is
A
it
Jew.
is a problem
Jesus
that
is a Jew.
billions of Christians worship a Jew.
I don't
And
They
It's a
don't
problem.
worship.
Why is that a
nobody
problem?
worships
I think it's
Jesus.
a huge problem.
Nobody worships Jesus per se. It's worshiping.
Yes, we do.
let me-
Whoa.
let
That's
me-
not true.
Yeah, we
let me stop
do.
you there.
Christians.
Come to a Baptist church. You will see a lot of worshiping of Jesus. Trust me.
You are the most ignorant
First of all,
person I've
Lobos,
met
Come
in
to a
my
Baptist
life.
church.
Not only the Baptists, but the
You come
Catholics.
to the Baptist church. My mom still goes to. You will see a lot of Jesus worship. Trust me.
But Jesus
There's
is
a
part of
lot
the
of Jesus.
triune God. When you worship God, you worship Jesus. If you're a Trinitarian,
If you are a
that is.
Trinitarian, you worship Jesus. Of course you do.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But this man who knows nothing about
Didn't
Christianity.
Jesus say not to worship him?
Well,
I
Lou,
mean,
you need to tell that to
I'm not a
hundreds of
scholar, but
Lou, you
Feel-
need to tell
feel
that
free
to
to tell
millions of
me
people in the
what
Bible Belt. You need to tell that to millions of people in the Bible Belt, buddy. Because
no, I
worship
know.
Jesus.
There's a lot of Christian Zionists, definitely.
Well,
What?
What
that's
are you
a
talking
different
about? Christianity
category.
is the belief that Jesus was both human and divine. I mean, it's pretty.
Yes,
standard.
I know. I get that. And maybe worshiping is the wrong idea that I'm trying to put across. It's that, I mean, there's so many different sects of Christianity. It's hard to know what's what. I mean, the Jewish Zionists are the ones that are funding the whole Israeli thing, right? I mean, they're
The Jewish billionaires are also.
So, I'm
Jewish
pretty sure Jacob
Zionists.
paid for it to shit his
Yes.
pants.
They-
Grace,
The
can you get a
Jewish
towel for
Zionists
us?
would want to fund the
Shekels.
only Jewish state in the world. Yeah, it's like saying the Chinese want to fund China.
No, Hafez, it's not. It's not a Jewish state in the same way that China is a Chinese
Yeah,
state.
it's not. It's an
It's
ethno
No?
an
Well, it
ethno
is.
state.
It's ethnic.
What's the difference?
It's ethnic. It is an
Well,
ethnically
Hafez,
Jewish-
they just passed a
China is an
law
ethno state.
yesterday, I think, that for the death penalty, and it only applies to Palestinians.
That is not true.
You know what
Let's go.
Excuse me, Rahman,
I cannot know who he is, but he actually would have qualified for the death penalty.
Yes, it applies to terrorists. Terrorists. There is not limitation on any race. It's terrorism. It's a punishment for terrorism.
Maybe
but it's okay.
Shocking that they want to kill terrorists. You know what? I want that law to be passed for British terrorists and British pedos, like the grooming gangs. Absolutely. Personally, I would do horrific things to these people.
Oh, wow. We're all very impressed, Hafez. We're all very impressed.
Boy that throws rocks at tanks, a terrorist, and should he be killed?
Actually, this is a misnomer, and this is actually a bit of a trope. The fact is that most of these 10-year-olds, the 10-year-olds that throw.
Okay, wait. Let's just get some. Wait. Let's just get some facts down. Hold on.
Israeli prisons are not the ones who are throwing rocks.
The bill
they are
stipulates
trying to stab people in the streets.
Okay, enough propaganda. The bill stipulates that Palestinians convicted in Israeli military courts of carrying out deadly attacks deemed to be acts of terrorism would be executed by hanging within 90 days with a possible postponement of up to 180 days.
So it only applies to Palestinians?
Well, in theory, Jewish Israelis could also be executed under the law, but in practice this would almost certainly not happen, as the death penalty can only be carried out where the intention of the attack was to, quote, negate the existence of the state of Israel.
Whoa. That takes it a whole other.
Okay.
That does a terrorist attack would go. Any anti-Zionist
there are plenty of lefty Jews. You see, this is the problem. You guys think the Jews are this homogenous blob that don't have separations amongst them. There's plenty of leftist Jews that would carry out those kind of attacks against people in Israel.
I don't believe.
You know how many Jews march with Palestinians in London on a Saturday, on almost every given Saturday? There's an entire group of Jews for Palestine that march with the Palestinians every week.
This is an Israeli law, not a UK law.
Yeah.
I'm saying that there are plenty of lefty Jews.
Obviously, Norman Finkelstein. Hello, yes, we're aware.
Yeah, there are anti-Zionists.
They're the most
terrorism. It is for terrorists, for those who are trying to thwart the state of Israel.
One race of terrorists. Yes.
Sure, one race. You read that it applies to Jews who do it.
If they are trying to negate the existence of the state of Israel.
You know the solution to this is really simple. Try not to kill Jews.
Racism in.
You know, it's really simple not to fall foul of this new law. Don't kill Jews. Avoid killing Israelis.
To try and destroy the state of Israel. All that stuff is very easily avoidable.
It's actually
so exactly. So any act of resistance by the Palestinian people against their settlement is an act of terror that they could be killed for. Perfect. Yeah, no, that works.
They're a legitimate state.
Is that person
Palestinians have been attacking Jews the whole time. Again, you want to sit here and make these games. We gave them autonomy in Gaza. They pulled out completely.
Bullshit. Yeah. Gimpy, I'll go into your house. I'll take over your house. Then I'll leave your house and have armed guards around your house. You have autonomy, by the way, buddy. You got free autonomy. Nothing can go into your house without me checking it first. Nothing can go through, but you have autonomy. Okay, buddy? Okay. Well, I gave you autonomy. What's the problem?
Again, they have autonomy there. You've never been there, so you don't have a clue.
Have you ever been? I've never been. I've never been. Yes.
Showing everybody on the camera, but good try, Grace.
Why did they build the tunnels? Why did they build the tunnels? Because everything that comes into Gaza is watched by the Israelis. How is that independence? If I can't get anything into my house without you checking it first and stopping it if you don't want it, how is that autonomy?
Keep trying. They have been consistently from the beginning of the state of Israel attacking Jews. You want them to just sit
They are
there and
attacking their
fine.
colonizers, yes.
Gimpy, can I ask you a quick question? If a person gives money to his what is it, Hamas or whatever they're called, the terrorist group in Palestine, would they be considered a terrorist and able to be killed? Or,
No, they would be a sympathizer.
Okay,
They
so
would be a sympathizer.
if they're funding Hamas, they can't be tried and killed.
Terrorist
If you're
just
funding
means one we
Hamas,
don't like.
you may find yourself to be the next Ayatollah of Iran.
No, I'm just asking if that's a possibility. Should that
Terrorist just
be
means
also...
we don't like you.
See,
Because if
Okay,
that's
yeah,
true, then
yeah,
Netanyahu
that's what it
sent
means.
them $2 billion
Yeah, it does.
before October 7th. Shouldn't Netanyahu be judged for that?
He
had
sent
a
that.
great
Look,
Oh,
Netanyahu is
fuck,
going to get a whole
this panel.
thunderstorm
Yeah,
of
he's
shit
gonna have his own-
once he's finished
He has
this
his own criminal
situation.
charges coming down.
You
He's
mean
already in his own mess.
Milakowski? You mean
Why are we
Milakowski?
talking
Look, there are
about
plenty of-
specifics of
Sonny, you
tiny
are,
countries?
your hate is so
Who
fulfilling
cares?
to you.
Who cares? Why are we
I
talking
dated
about
you,
specifics
dumbass.
of a small little country in
I'm
the Middle
sure.
East
I'm sure.
when we could be talking about going to the moon?
Yeah, that's what I...
Because
that's
this
the whole
actually
point of
affects
this
people's
panel.
lives. Going to the
Next thing
moon,
we know-
nobody
because the
cares.
Forbes hijacked
Jacob,
every
to point out,
conversation
like,
and
if you
twisted
want
to
to
whatever
have,
the shit
right,
they want to
again,
talk
but
about.
Jacob, you're the one who made it
You
clear
guys
that
brought
in
this
order
up.
to achieve, not me, I didn't bring any of this up.
I was literally
but you
talking about
said
the
it.
moon 10 minutes
In
before
order
you
to
fuckers showed
achieve
up.
any ability, by the way, you don't like type 1 civilization and that whole measure, but the fact is type 1 civilization is measured by the fact that we no longer have these conflicts socially because of the fact that there's no longer any resource shortages and everything is abundant and we can feed and house and clothe everybody and we have unlimited energy.
No. Gimpy, I apologize to interrupt you, but you and I both know that even if we had infinite resources and infinite
Oh, I'm not
lands,
saying it's true, dude.
the
Stop.
Palestinians
That's
and
not
the
what
Jews will
I'm not-
never
I'm
stop
not saying
fighting.
that, dude.
That
That's
shit ain't
not
about
what I'm saying.
resources.
I'm talking about. Hold on. I'm talking about his. I'm talking about his claim that in order to get to type 1, right? Type 1 is prerequisite on what you said, by the way. We have to overcome all the societal ills first to achieve any of that technological gain. That's tied into it. That's the whole mentality of it.
But
is
when
that
it
all
comes to
those
this
things are history.
situation, but when it comes to this situation, people are like, "Oh, it's a land grab." It's not a land grab. If you
why
think
do
that
you
the
keep staying on
Palestinian-Israeli
it?
situation
Can we-
is a land dispute, you're a moron and you have no
What is it
idea
then?
what
What
that's.
is it?
This is a deeply religious war. This is a deeply
it
religious
possible it's
war.
a
I've got.
sacrifice?
There's a
A
video.
blood
There's a video that I
sacrifice?
looked it up. Listen, there's a video I looked it up. Actually, still available online. It's called "Peace, Propaganda, and the Promised Land." It's a documentary that was made like 20 years ago. It's still available on YouTube. Look it up. There's a scene. There's a woman whose son is in a Jewish hospital, a Muslim woman whose son is in a Jewish hospital being operated on by Jewish doctors. They're trying to save his life. And the reporter asks the mother, "Would you give up Al-Quds for peace?" Al-Quds is Jerusalem. She says, "No, we will never give up Al-Quds." Her son's life was being saved by Jewish doctors, and yet she still
this
will not
stuff
give
sucks
1
so
inch
much.
to the Jews, because the hatred between these people isn't about land. It goes far deeper than that. It is a 1400-year feud that is happening between these
Hey,
Not
you know,
true.
can I give you guys a little story? My son was kicked out of about 100 schools. Fuck, those schools are a real problem, aren't they?
But you tried this the last time. It didn't hit then. It doesn't hit now.
There was not a feud between
I tried
Arabs
to
and
get him into
Jews
school after
in
school.
the
They keep
first
throwing him
century,
out.
second
It
century,
must be
third
the
century,
school's
fourth,
problem.
fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth,
Lubis,
ninth, 10th, 11th,
Dude, what are you
12th,
talking
13th,
about?
14th,
Every time the
15th,
Jewish people were
16th,
conquered,
17th,
holy
and
fuck,
18th
dude, there was
centuries.
constant.
Only in the late 19th century did this feud begin. There was
But
no
again,
feud
that's
before
not,
that.
I want
that's not accurate at
address.
all.
Okay, I want to address the 109 schools thing. The Jews in China and India never had any problems. I wonder why that was.
The thing is, you
Yeah, I
see,
know.
this
My
is the
son
problem.
was
We
kicked
still
out
have.
of-
We still
Couldn't
have.
it be
My son
because
was
they didn't
kicked out
settle
of
on top of
109
people?
schools, but
They
3
did.
of them said he was fine.
Did they buy
The
property
problem
or
is
did
we
they
still
just
have
take it and
idiots
steal
that
it?
say, "Oh, the hatred of Jews began in 1947." No, it did not. If you actually trace back of all the pogroms in Morocco, in Egypt, in Iraq,
Yemen,
in Syria, in Yemen, there were tens of thousands of
Dude, you
Jews
guys are like
living in
retarded.
Mecca and Medina. In fact,
That
it
were
was the
slaughtered.
Jews that gave Muhammad sanctuary when he was ousted from Mecca and he
In
made the
Medina,
pilgrimage to
and then he
Medina.
killed them 3 years.
That's true.
Then he
Yes.
killed them all.
Go
The
and
peace of
look up
Medina.
the
It's called
tribe
the
of
peace
Abu
of Medina.
Khurayza and what he did, Muhammad did to the Jews.
Yeah,
If
you
you think
guys
this
are
started in
all
1947, you are a moron. You are
dumb.
not even qualified to be a toaster.
Who thinks this
You are
started in
beneath
19?
a
Who are you
toaster.
arguing against? Who are you arguing
No one.
against?
You're
He's
fine.
a
Moron in the
straw man.
chat.
He's a
He's
moron.
moron in the chat.
Nobody thinks that anti-Semitism started in 1947.
No one said anti-Semitism.
There's
That's
a
not
guy
what he's
who's
talking
in
about.
the
That's
chat,
also
Gollum
ridiculous.
F5Y.
Okay, well, why don't you go in the
That's not
chat
what
and
he's
talk to
saying.
him because none of us said that.
We have
When
somebody
did
on
Again,
this,
your
anti-Goyism
senator
start?
just tried to say that, so let's
We have
not,
somebody
please. He
on
tried to
this
say it's a
panel.
new thing.
we have somebody on this panel who thinks that space is fake.
Oh God.
No, he said it's useless. He didn't say it's fake.
Who?
If you're talking
Lou?
about Thorpe. No.
No.
Oh, does Lou think it's fake?
I didn't
because
say
he's
anything of the sort.
Yeah, if you think Thorpe said it, no, he
Read.
said it has no purpose.
Read.
What
And
up?
yes,
What up?
there are
Space is
Jewish
fake.
doctors
Who said
and
space
lawyers
is
in Gaza,
fake?
but they don't live there.
Look, Grace, read the title.
Space is fake, bro. About time you guys finally.
Oh,
Oh,
there he is.
Toaster
Oh, I
has
didn't
gone
see him,
before. Okay.
Listen, CT, me and you could be good business partners, bro. As much as we disagree on, I'm glad that nerd sent you over some Skrilla. Good for you. Bro, space is fake, clearly. I mean, like I was hitting on earlier when Hafez speaks like he's some fucking, like he's done the research when he's just talking out his ass. Hafez, they admitted to this whole time, they admitted to losing the technology and not having the capabilities to recreate it to go back to the moon. And that's a fact. So that's how I know you haven't looked into this for even 2 seconds, but you're out here talking like you know everything about space.
Hey,
So
listen, later on today, can I just say something real quick? Later on today, I got to drive about 30 miles to get to Costco from my place. But when I get there, I'm just going to drive around the parking lot and go home.
Nice, dude.
I'm sure they'll appreciate that.
Does that make sense? No.
Especially
So
the
does
women.
going all the way to the moon and not landing on it.
Yeah, but they'll
also
miss out
makes
on
no
a lot
sense.
of potential
Yeah,
sales.
because there might not
Exactly.
be any technical difficulties in landing.
Somebody read the
taking off
super
from
chat.
the moon.
Okay, so they got
Might
enough.
make
They
it-
got enough information to get there, but not to
Yeah.
just land on it.
Guys,
What's
we've
the
got
point of
super
landing
chat.
on the moon? What are you going to do that you haven't already done? It's just,
Well, I mean, just
yeah,
the
it's a
fact that
rock.
you're there. What's the point of shopping if I go all the way to Costco?
This is
I'm there.
This
That's a
is
good point.
so I can tell you don't actually have any skills
Me?
because yes,
Oh, I have
because-
zero skills.
apparently.
And
Because
That's a valid
dumb.
point,
I'm
though,
really
Jacob.
dumb too.
if you were apparently because if you had ever
Yes.
I don't know made something you would realize doing things in steps actually is something that human beings do, like they learn things in steps.
But we already landed on the moon,
Never
Jacob.
heard
We
of
already took
doing
that
things
step.
in steps.
Yeah, we already landed
Right.
on
The
the
thing
moon. We
is-
took that
the
step in
thing is-
So
1969.
we do
Listen,
the
Lou.
majority of the work, and then we
Lou.
stop at finishing.
No, Lou, you don't realize these are the stepping stones to a much bigger project on the moon.
Right.
They're
I
not.
know.
They're not just going to
Listen,
go
I
there and
don't
do a
know if
Neil
this is
Armstrong
real
shit.
or
We've already
not.
done the Neil Armstrong shit where we
I'm just
walked on
asking
it and planted a
questions.
flag. No, these are build-ups. These are a build-up series of build-ups when it comes to what they intend to do. They're intending to actually set up
Anybody who's ever
permanent structures on the moon, which they
Anybody
can
But wouldn't it
utilize.
make sense
anything
to
useful in
land?
their lives.
Can I?
No.
Done it in
This
steps.
isn't that mission yet.
Hey, Lou,
the
can I ask
landing
you-
comes later.
Lou, can I ask you a question, Lou?
Sure.
Have you ever traveled outside the United States of America, like the continent?
Yes.
Really? Where'd you go?
I'm
Where-
Canadian. I've traveled not a lot. I've been to Europe. I've been to Mexico, America, a few places here and there. I've been out, I haven't traveled a lot. No.
How do you know for sure what's really going on in Israel?
Oh, I don't know anything for sure.
How do you know
All
that
I have is
Australia
questions.
exists?
What about you, Grace? How do you know these things are really going on? How do you know these things are really taking place?
What is that supposed to mean?
if
How
I
do you
can
know
just-
that they're
I'm
going to
not
shoot a
sure.
rock? How do you know
Seriously,
that
I'm not
Artemis
trying to be-
2 is real?
I'm not trying to be philosophical. I'm just asking. How do you guys really know?
What is my epistemological basis for my
Sure.
thoughts
If I
on
can-
Gaza?
Sure.
If I can answer
Well, the
again,
same
I
as
was just
anybody
being-
else. News
being
sources,
a little bit-
videos, etc.
I was being facetious, but I actually I actually date an Israeli girl, and I hang out with a bunch of Israelis every couple of weeks. We get together and have a little gathering, and they are giving me information.
little
that's happening
cabal?
from a little cabal. Yeah, it's my own little. I call them my Jewish mafia. But anyways, they get a kick out of that. But they have information from people that live there of what's actually happening, right? So I'm getting some what I believe is firsthand knowledge. Now,
These
haven't
are
seen it with
dual
my own eyes.
citizens? Dual
Some of
citizen
them are,
Israelis?
some of them are not. They're just Canadian. But yeah.
Well, when you said, like, so they came from Israel, they emigrated or something?
Yes, some of them came from Israel. Some of them were born here. But yeah, a lot
Well, how
of
can
them
they be
were actually
Israeli if
born
they
there.
were born here? You just mean Jewish?
Well, when I say Israeli, maybe I'm lumping them in with the Jewish thing, but
Oh, okay.
there is a number of Israelis that I hang out with, and they give me a lot of information, and they're very worried, and as I am also for Israel, because the prophecy is that the world is supposed to come against Israel, and then the Moshiach will come and destroy 2/3 of the world, and the rest will become Jewish slaves. So that's the prophecy, but the prophecy begins with the destruction of everybody of Israel. Right, so that's a very scary proposition when I believe these people are following a playbook, and I don't even believe they're Jews. They've never been Jews.
Don't you think everybody's just going to leave Israel, though? I mean, have you seen Tel Aviv?
Well, there is a big exodus right now, from what I've been told.
It was, yeah, I mean, it was supposed to be like their fantasy land or whatever, and it's not. Like, they're getting bombed, so. You really think,
I mean,
wealthy, elite, cosmopolitan Jews are going to stay in a Middle Eastern war-bombed city? Like, no.
I mean, anybody that knows what's going on, like Benjamin Mikulski or Trump or all these people, they, like Trump converted to Judaism, right? You know that. But these
his
people
daughter
that call
did.
themselves,
I don't know about him.
No, so did he.
Oh, he did
so
too?
Did he. Look it up. Yeah, look it up.
Those Kushners.
These
Dad,
people
that's
that
not
are
true.
running-
Hold on.
These
Go
people
ahead.
that are running this whole theater, let's say, they are not Jews. They are Khazars. They chose Judaism because of its inherent sort of supremacist ideal.
Well, he didn't
right?
convert
They
to
knew that
Judaism, just so you know. He did not.
Yes, he did. Look
Lou,
closer.
No,
just
he
because you
didn't.
read something on the internet does not mean it's true.
Well, this is the thing. Lou probably
Well,
thinks that
as
the
far
moon
as I
doesn't
know,
exist and
he's
the earth is
converted to
flat.
Judaism.
His daughter
Okay,
did.
Lou, like
to
are
marry
you
a Jewish
educated
guy.
at all? I
Hasn't.
mean, do you have any?
He also did. Look deeper.
Wait, what's
Look
your
deeper.
evidence? What is your evidence? It's like Lou
it's
just comes up
important.
here and says the
I'm
pig
not
can
sure-
fly,
I'm not
but
sure-
I'm not going to show you a
listen,
flying
You can do
pig.
your own research. I do mine, and you can believe me or tell me to fuck off. Either way,
So
it doesn't
where
matter.
do you do your
you made
research,
the
Lou?
claim. Give me your evidence, sir.
If Donald
I'm
Trump
not
converted to
interested in doing
Judaism,
that.
you don't think that would be a well-known fact? Lou thinks Jesuits
think he
do
just kissed the
gematria.
wall.
Lou.
Yeah, he
as
kissed the
great
wall,
Christian
yeah,
Hitchens
but,
once said,
you know.
that which can be stated without evidence can be ignored without evidence. I ignore your evidence.
You
sir.
have every right to ignore what I say. Absolutely.
Everyone else has.
And I can't say for sure that I know anything,
Perfect.
right?
Dude, religious people are the
you?
most fucking crazy people in the world.
I'm not religious, by the way.
First time I absolutely.
You got a
agree
cross
with
around your neck, Lou. What are you
I
talking
agree with
about?
Catchwreck, man. I can't believe this. Catchwreck,
This is
please.
the piece of silver my
Hold
father
on,
gave me at
hold
11.
on. Catchwreck, please expound upon it. Why do you believe religious people are the crazy people? Go ahead, buddy.
I mean, this is your show, CT. Since you agree with me for one time, I want you to expound on that, my brother.
Oh yeah, I'm just gonna be honest with you, man. I think it's grown ass adults playing Yu-Gi-Oh cards and Pokemon cards, and pretending which creator is more powerful than the other creator, and their own imagined creators more powerful.
My God's
And,
got to
and,
be
and,
bigger
and not to
than
mention,
your
they
God.
create terrorist organizations. They start killing each other at the cafeteria table over it. That's what I truly believe. I believe, Catchwreck, this is the first time I 100,000% agree with you, man. I think that religion should be practiced at the house. I think it shouldn't be talked about. All of it is faith. And I believe that it is keeping humanity behind, to be completely honest with you. I think this is nonsense, to be honest with you. Whatever's happening over in Israel and Palestine, I think is nonsense. Ever since I've been a kid, I've always thought it was nonsense. What are you talking about? The planet has so much goddamn land on it. Just go somewhere else, man. The Jews or the goddamn Palestinians. Hell, anywhere could be the goddamn Holy Land, to be honest with you. You say it's the Holy Land. It's nonsense, man. That's what I really believe.
Question? I agree, CT.
What a milquetoast take.
I'm gonna be honest
CT, if you take the term religion in the broadest sense, religion answers 3 questions. Where did we come from? What are we supposed to do? And what does the future hold? So in that sense, we're all religious, right? So if you go, yo, religion's a bunch of crap, it doesn't really make much sense.
It doesn't answer any of those questions, though.
It doesn't answer any of those
I just think religion.
It attempts to, but secularism also attempts to do that. And so in that sense, it's a
I'm looking at
Okay.
Jacob. I'm looking at religion from an institutional perspective. It's institutions that have gotten wildly out of control. To be completely honest with you, man. All 3 of the major religions.
What is the difference between an institutionalized religion and a non-institutionalized? I mean, they're both.
Well,
they both offer a worldview.
Nah, I'll tell you this. I don't. Me personally, man. I'm just gonna be honest with you. I feel safe and more secure around a black chick from, like, let's say Brazil, practicing candomblé than I do around a Catholic. I'm just gonna be completely honest about it, man. She's not gonna try to convert me. She's not gonna try to. I just feel these people haven't used religion in conquest. It's down. Most people.
You feel safer around pagans than around Christians?
See, that's your perspective of what a pagan is. Maybe they think you are a pagan. You know, and that's another thing too.
No, pagans are
ultra-violent. I rock with the Catholic Church, but your institution has brainwashed you into believing that a person practicing candomblé is a pagan.
I don't know. I don't know what that word means.
Yeah, I mean, well, anything outside of Catholicism is a pagan, right? To you,
Yeah.
right?
No.
Oh, really?
Like, CT, you have to be slightly educated on a topic before you pontificate about it.
I'm not a Catholic, sir. I don't know.
Well, but
We're the topic of religion.
Let me jump in.
Topic of
The
religion.
practitioners of voodoo, are they not pagan?
Yeah, that's pagan.
Are practitioners
Bro, let
of
me jump in here real
Wiccan?
quick.
Pagan is not a
Are
pejorative
Wiccans,
word.
are they
Grace,
not
why are
pagan?
Grace, real quick. Why are practitioners of voodoo or voodoo pagans? Why are they pagans?
It's just a historical term to reference like folk magic, like witchcraft.
No. It is
Voodoo.
the term that the Catholic Church used to demonize other religions in order to propagate Catholicism.
But you just
That's
say
what
this
they
stuff
did. They literally
Catholic
started
Church?
the propaganda campaign.
I'm pretty sure
against
like a
the Celts.
non-Catholic
The term
historian would
Wiccans,
refer to them as
against
pagan
Pagans.
religion.
That was not
Shut up. The
Catholicism.
term comes from the Latin paganus, which originally means villager, rustic, or civilian. Okay, that's where the term originates.
Okay, so let me go back to the original question.
I don't think it's
traditional
a Catholic
religions.
thing. Proselytizing is not necessarily a Catholic doctrine, if I'm not mistaken. I don't follow Catholicism or Christianity or
Then don't
Judaism,
talk
but I
about it.
don't
Then don't
believe
talk
they
about
proselytize.
All right, so the original question was, how does religion bad, or why is it bad? I didn't get a chance to talk because you guys jump in like a bunch of fucking
Okay, you're a
hooligans.
victim.
Oh,
we got that. Just
boo-hoo.
wear a little hat that says I'm a victim, and then we don't have to go prelude.
Put your hand up, honey, when you want to talk.
Cool.
Poor
So you guys
guy.
asked me a question,
Put your
and then
hand up.
Cool, I tried to get CT, the fucking creator of this bullshit fucking thing, circus. Listen, this is why religion is bullshit, bro. I used to work in a warehouse job. I'm not going to say the religion, but we all know a religion. 5 times a day, you got to get out your prayer rug and you got to bow down. But before you do that, bro, you have to wash your hands and your feet. I used to work a warehouse job with a dude, and I felt so bad for him because his whole lunch break, every break we got, he would have to go into the bathroom, take off his boots, take off his socks, wash his feet, wash his hands, wash his face, wash his mouth, and then pull out his rug. And the whole time, everybody else is eating, relaxing in their car, listening to music, getting whatever they need done. And I felt so bad for this man because he's so controlled by religion that every second we got break, this man I still felt like he was working on the clock.
And today he has kids. He's got pussy. He isn't saying space is fake. So he wins, you lost, right?
and you're jerking off in your basement.
Ben, let me ask you something. Are you wearing
am I wrong?
Did he ask for your pity? Did he ask for your pity? By the way, did he ask for that?
Do you realize that if things had turned out slightly different in that night flight that Muhammad took to the seventh heaven,
Ben, are you wearing
originally
glasses, or did your head just get twice as big since you got
Go ahead, face. Go ahead.
Originally, God,
Good one.
Allah, asked Muhammad that the Muslims should pray 50 times a day. It was Moses who then convinced Muhammad to go back and renegotiate with Allah. This is solid truth. Look up Islamic doctrine. Moses convinced Muhammad to go back and renegotiate with Allah in order to bring it down. He literally Jewed him down to 5.
What's up, Jacob?
Hey,
It's just the ramblings of idiots who are uneducated. I mean, it's
Jacob,
so stupid.
Jacob, you wanted to get in. Go ahead, Jacob.
Okay, let me inject some hopefully intelligence into this. There is a professor of
thank God we have a
psychology-
Jew that's intelligent here, and the rest of us.
He is.
are
He's
dumb.
well read. He's part of the elite. You guys wanted to know who's part of the elite. I'm part of the elite, and Jacob's part of the elite. Rest of you are trash. That's what includes you, Grace.
Go ahead, Jacob.
There is a professor named John Vervaeke at the University of Toronto. He's a professor of cognitive psychology, and he has a very long series on YouTube called "Awakening from the Meaning Crisis." And I think if you're a somebody who thinks religion is bad for the world, I highly recommend you take a look. Because he himself was not, he came from a fundamentalist family. He rejected that. And what he found out is, look, we actually do need religion in order to function as human beings. And that's what a lot of people, Jordan Peterson is also from the University of Toronto's Department of Psychology. What a lot of people are recognizing is that being religious is part of the condition of humanity, including Dawkins.
No, being spiritual, not religious.
Dawkins recently admitted that it's quite likely that part of the extended phenotype, look up extended phenotype, you can Google it.
Man, nobody wants homework assignments. How many defaults to authority are you going to make in one breath?
Of human beings.
Yeah, quit reading from Google, you
religiosity.
fucking Harry Potter.
And yes, I'm giving homework assignments because there are people in this audience who are not toasters, who will actually look things up.
No one's going to look that nonsense up.
We're having a live
and
discussion.
educate
We're having a live
themselves.
We're having a
Well,
live
then
The
look
question
that
would
up,
be
Jacob.
which
The least
religion.
convincing
That's
argument
the
for
question.
you to go somewhere else.
I have to go to work soon. So, CT, if there was anything else you wanted me to address, please.
Hey, no need
but
to
I
flex
do
on the
have to
panel
leave
like
soon.
that. Jeez.
Hold on. Could I ask you which
He's just going to
religion
collect interest.
that we should be following?
No, Jacob. You don't have
Judaism,
to,
of course.
Right. Well, there you go.
Jacob, your people are the 1990s Chicago Bulls. You don't have to keep arguing and debating with these people anymore, man. These people are the Utah Jazz. Put it that way.
Well, thank
We
you.
all
Very
know sports are fake, CT. Let's go.
Bye, people.
I'm not saying that they're real, but yeah.
And those court
Are
seats
you
aren't
excited?
25,000 either for the baby. It ain't 25,000, bro.
How much was it?
Probably 5,000.
For courtside seats at the Knicks
At a
game?
regular season game for the Charlotte Hornets, yes.
Really?
Yes.
5,000? I thought it'd be a lot more than that. Hey, Potter
No.
Dusty, are you excited about Artemis too?
No.
Oh.
I mean, are they? I don't even know what they're claiming. Are they claiming to put people on the moon, or are they just saying they're sending up another satellite?
They're doing a manned flyby of the moon.
They're just driving by it and coming back home.
Manned
They
flyby.
haven't done it. They've had scheduled manned space launches for my whole life, and they haven't done any of them.
What are they gonna do it today? They're doing it today.
Boom.
Yeah,
At
I don't think
6:40, 6:45. Is anybody
so.
not
Just
excited?
I
Or
don't
is
know.
it just me?
Are you excited for it?
Orgasmically excited, man. I really believe that this is another step towards humanity becoming a spacefaring race. that doesn't excite any. Wow, Jesus Christ!
I'm kind of jaded.
Maybe it's just me then. I guess. Shit, I don't know.
It's kind of a boomer thing to be like all excited about like space travel.
Yeah,
it's actually
boomer.
Literally, the boomers were into that. I mean, it was JFK was like, "This is going to change everything." It really didn't change much of anything. You got satellites; those are great.
Because we stopped dreaming. We stopped dreaming. We stopped.
Well, we stopped masturbating and realized it's just a rock.
I mean, we stopped yearning for exploration, man.
Well, I mean, you can have fantasies, you can masturbate, and it can be fun. But then, like, kind of, if there's no love, there's no relationality. If you just spend trillions of dollars in a race with other retards to get to a rock that offers you nothing, maybe it's time for the masturbation to end.
Did you know Buzz Aldrin carried a Freemason flag with him on Apollo 11? Why do you have a Freemason banner with him? Kind of weird.
I've never met a Buzz Aldrin.
Something to think about.
I have no idea.
You should think about getting an education and trying to ground yourself in things that make sense.
Who, me, Ben?
No.
Oh, I was about to say I'm damn near 50. I went through. Okay, go ahead.
What
you run into a problem. You run into a problem. You were like on the internet. You can see it. There's something called epistemological nihilism, where you don't trust anything.
Yeah.
And you can get into like really bad mental places, and because if you don't trust anything except yourself and what you read on the internet and the latest theory, you'll start. Everything's about you. It's a form of narcissism.
So what do you think? I trust that the government tells me, Ben?
You should trust your parents, not unlimitedly.
No, that's coming from the government.
You should trust. You should trust your local mayor. You should trust your governor. You should trust. Yeah.
Real quick, Bob says, are there Jewish doctors, lawyers, etc. in Gaza? If not, why? Go ahead, Ben. Thank you so much. Bob.
You should trust secular and spiritual authorities, which are given to you to help you navigate the world. But if you think you can do it on your own, you'll end up in a mental institution. And I'll be the first one to
and all them politicians
put
and
the straitjacket
they're
around
not
you.
in touch with the reality. They're not in touch with the common folk.
And you are. No, you're not.
You're literally making a logical
fallacy. You got the
fallacy.
American spirit, Ben. You really got the American spirit in you. Trust your government, trust your lawyers, trust your doctors, trust everybody.
Yeah, I am pro-social. I understand that.
What an American.
They got you right where they want you, Ben. Like a good
America's
freedom,
a society founded on laws,
freedom,
founded on traditions.
Rugged.
We don't exist. Let me give you an example. You know all these guys who are prepping? You know all these guys who are prepping? Who used to be and still are? Do you know how I prep? I have the names and addresses of preppers. And me and a bunch of people are going to go and kill them and take their stuff. You see?
So full of shit.
It is society that always wins.
Yeah,
I'll
it's
send my
because
daughter to lure 'em out.
preppers don't
I'll
arm
send my
themselves
daughter to
to
lure
make
them
sure.
out. Then I'll kill them and take all their stuff. See,
Yeah, that's
much easier
because,
just to get a name and address.
Yeah.
They all tell you about it online.
Just as if preppers are just going to leave themselves without any arms. They will literally put more holes in you than you can possibly imagine before you get two steps towards their house.
Hey, Grace,
They'll get lonely. Then we'll put me and my group will put someone out there to lure them out, and then we'll kill them and take all their stuff. Absolutely.
I mean, Grace, would you?
Grace,
would
you can't
Grace,
get off
Grace,
that bed and out of that.
Grace, would you rather date?
If I had to survive, I would.
Would you rather date an astronaut or a football player?
Football player.
Whoever's got the bigger dick.
Would you rather?
Okay, maybe
marry
speaking from experience.
That's how you make your choices, buddy.
I'm sad.
You're a dick man. Okay, well,
Apparently
good to
you
know.
be pimping
Anyone
Grace,
you're
because you be
interested,
pimping Grace.
he's a dick man.
Hold on, guys. How far on the dating scale, down or high, is an astronaut to you, Grace?
Like out of importance?
If you could choose somebody to date in terms of importance, yeah.
I mean, I really don't find that attractive. Like 1 or 2.
Really?
Yeah, like you're well, but like you've been trained on how to like be. Can you shut up, Hafizis, for 1 second, please? Mute your mic. Thank you.
That is an admirable.
You've been trained on how, like, basically your whole life is about like being really good at being able to live in a ship circling around without gravity for like months or whatever, weeks or months. It seems antisocial. It seems kind of autistic. I don't think it's sexy. Why would that? Why would anyone find that sexy?
Wow,
lesbians
really
do it.
That is some fascinating shit, dude. Wow.
And
you're probably kind of like a science dork, I guess, which is okay, but like
thing,
that level.
DEI hire. Half of them are DEI.
Yeah, the women
saying that
and the blacks.
You want to be an astronaut.
Too.
That was like even higher than being like a doc.
Yeah, but CT.
Yeah, for a 6-year-old.
The Big Bang Theory kind of addressed
Howard
Wolowitz went up and became an astronaut, but he didn't become somehow more sexy.
Do you think women are like getting off to Buzz Aldrich? Like, no, he's not a sex symbol.
But I'm pretty sure in the 60s they did. I mean, I don't know.
I think it's Buzz Aldrin.
Or whatever.
Yeah, Buzz Aldrin. Yeah, I don't know the other names.
Not really.
Yeah, they did those movies.
You don't know the other one.
Stuff. They did those movies.
You said you know Buzz Aldrin. You don't know the other one. Like the one who first stepped on the moon.
That is fascinating.
No one knows the third guy though. What's the third guy's name?
I can't think of his damn name.
No one gives a shit about the third one.
Do you find where would you put an astronaut female on your dating scale?
There was a time in my life where I would have chosen an astronaut chick over any type of chick.
That's really weird. Most of them are lesbians.
If you'd have told me you were an astronaut chick, oh man,
Isn't Katy Perry an astronaut chick now? Katy Perry?
I mean, I guess technically.
Do you know the first crime committed in outer space was a lesbian who reneged on a deal she had with someone on Earth?
Really?
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah. She got a lot of trouble for that shit too.
Because they didn't know how does she go to trial. It was an outer.
Did you know about the one astronaut that drove across America and
you guys actually believe that story?
A diaper to go shoot her lover's her boyfriend's lover or some shit. Yeah, it was some wild shit a long time ago.
Yeah, it was something she orchestrated in outer space, so that like it was like well.
So Grace, do you think like being an astronaut is like being a cashier at Walmart, or like how do you rank an astronaut? Like, I'm fascinated to hear from this. How do you rank it? Like how do you see it? Like do you see them like a McDonald's worker, or
no? It's like I don't know. It's like it's a particular type of nerdiness that's. It's a particular type of nerdiness that isn't really very social, so it's just really not very appealing. Yeah, it's like super dorky, I guess, I would say.
They are nerds without the money of the nerds. Now, if you were a nerd and you were Jeff Bezos or Bill Gates, you know what I mean? Yeah. Or Elon Musk nerd.
Maybe those guys are sexy to you. They're also not particularly
Their uniform
sexy.
is literally like autism. It's like autism, the embodiment of autism. You're in a bubble. You don't touch anyone. You can't go near anyone.
There you go, CT. Here's the toasters for you. Congratulations. I hope.
Oh, apparently you two find astronauts very sexy. This is news to me. CT, wait, no, I want you to tell me if you had to say like the top 5 professions that women are attracted to. What would you put up there? Okay, we've got astronaut. What's next?
Oh, modern. You mean modern professions now?
Any profession a man could have. Top 5 most interesting to women.
Are we talking about women overall or
overall?
Which race?
We got astronaut. We know that's up there. Okay.
Medical doctor, maybe.
Doctor. Okay.
Medical doctor.
Doctor's fine.
Some sort of an engineer. Let's say a petroleum engineer. You think that's kind of?
I'll be honest.
Petroleum engineer.
You're way
okay.
too old school.
What are the other two?
I don't know. I mean, I don't know what younger modern women want. I have no idea.
Lawyer. He's going to say lawyer.
No, because you're thinking 1990s women, dude. Yeah. Modern women, YouTuber,
petroleum
TikToker,
engineer,
influencer, possibly
actor. Oh my God,
some kind
he's
of
a petroleum engineer.
You know, online guy.
Geologist. Archaeologist.
Athletes,
yeah.
Musicians.
Athletes, musicians, yep. Actor, sort of.
Yeah. I mean, I wanted to say those, but I wanted
NBA,
to.
Politician
NFL.
would be on there.
Yeah.
Astronaut would not be on there. It would not be in the top 50. Mechanic would be on there, like way higher than astronaut.
When I was a kid, I fell in love with Macy Jameson in this fucking photo right here. I don't know what it is. Maybe I am a dork. Grace.
No,
I know what it is because
no,
it's a black woman in like a white person science techno environment. It's like both of your fetishes totally mixed perfectly.
I swear to God, Grace, when it comes to space travel, I don't even see race. I don't know
A
what
smart
it is.
black woman. Whoa, buddy! Like you're just
Grace, I'm
losing
telling you,
it.
I don't.
You
I
have this
don't see
fetish.
race. I don't see race when it comes to space travel. I swear to God, I just don't see it. I'm a
Then
Gene
you're
Roddenberry.
blind.
Why didn't you get out? Why don't you find the butch white lesbian super attractive?
That was the first person that I guess I could say her name. It was my second grade teacher. Anyway, it was the first Miss Kushner. It was the first woman. I guess she was the first black astronaut to go into outer space. So she was pumping that. She was a white liberal woman teacher. So she was telling us this, and I fell in love with that woman. Yeah, Macy Jameson. 1992, I think 92. I don't know.
Yeah, because it's your fantasy of
Instead of
black women
talking
being
dirty,
like
you wanted to
super
talk about
smart.
approach angles and like
Do you think she actually like got there by merit?
Oh,
no, she was
interesting
actually,
question.
She was like a DEI because she wasn't a normally astronauts have like a fighter jet experience or something. She was more like a physician.
Because the G forces and everything.
She was just a physician. Yeah, she was just a regular old general physician. So I don't think she got there by merit. Yeah.
Diversity matters.
You guys really are Debbie Downers when it comes to this topic, man.
Because it's so boomer. I'm just amazed that you're so obsessed with space.
They are
nobody cares
toasters.
about space. Nobody
I don't
has.
think we went to the moon at all. I think the whole thing was staged.
Oh my god.
Yeah, there's a 2014 movie with Channing Tatum. It's called Fly Me to the Moon. They even make fun of it.
Just ask them if they could put a bit of marmalade on your toast.
If you look at the political climate of the 70s and what JFK had promised and where we were when we went to the moon, and then if you look at the footage now that everything's digital, I mean, obvious.
Hold on for a second, Potter. Bob with the $5 super chat. Some people think that distrust of the government automatically makes them intelligent.
No, but trust of the government automatically makes you dumb.
Why are you putting it on me?
That's true.
I don't know.
No, it doesn't.
No reason at all.
There's lots of reasons.
Potter, let me ask you a question. You do
if
agree
you have daddy issues, there are.
You do agree that rockets exist, right? You agree that rockets
exist the government too.
Potter, you agree that rockets exist, right?
Yeah.
I agree.
Have you ever been to
agrees.
So I live 30 minutes away from NASA Glenn Research Center. I've been there. I was there as a kid. That exists, right? Do you agree that these facilities exist? Okay.
Yeah, we've got a facility
that people are employed at NASA.
Yeah.
Yeah, actors.
Do you believe? Okay, hold on. I'm getting somewhere. Do you believe that NASA has command centers?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, wouldn't it just be better just to go to the moon than to fake it? I mean, it doesn't make any sense to me. You build the rocket for what? To fake it, going to the moon doesn't make any sense.
Just because you can build a rocket,
just go to the moon, huh?
Just because you can build a rocket that shoots in the air doesn't mean that it can take people to the moon. That's a whole entirely different thing.
Yep.
CT, you said the last time you went to that space museum was when you were a kid. I challenge you to go back as an adult. Yeah, I was recently at one. Within the last 2 years. 4.8 stars, very good, high accomplished. And I was in there looking around like, this is total bullshit. I don't believe that we were doing any of the stuff.
Because you're crazy.
Honestly.
That's because you're crazy.
No, because it doesn't make sense.
No.
It just doesn't make sense.
No, it's because you're crazy.
The size of them.
Hold on, guys, real quick. Catch right. Do you believe that they've built all of this shit just to dupe the masses?
Yes, I do.
That is fascinating that you guys believe that.
No, he's doing April Fools.
It's not fascinating. He's a toaster. For the love of God.
I mean, they got you guys
Toasters'
fooled,
lives
don't they?
matter too, okay?
Well, if you're the one who's winning, why does it look like you're losing?
How does it look like I'm losing? And
How does
it look
knowing
like you're
space is
winning?
fake improve your life in any way?
No, because I don't need to fall into the bullshit like some of these people on the panel by thinking space is
Can you
real,
name
we went
one
to the moon.
choice that you would have
winning?
made that
How
you
are
have not
winning
made?
in life from your newfound knowledge? You have no
Because
girl,
I don't need
no
to put
kids,
time and energy.
no career, no potential. You masturbate compulsively. You talk about how tough you are on the internet.
Okay, how do you?
Like, so where's the
First
proven concept
off, bro,
here?
I'm happily with a woman. We're about to get married. So I don't know what you're talking about. It's cool to just make up stuff on the internet.
Ben,
and,
now
like,
you
Does
can
she
lie
have
lie
a
to
dick?
yourself. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because Ben Thorpe lives
Alright.
such a stellar life that
Right.
the rest of us have to be envious of. I
Literally,
mean,
it's just
holy
fucking
shit, Ben.
24-inch TV, bro. Calm down. Like,
17.
nothing special. Yeah.
Okay.
Now you're so
but
stupid. I forgot the initial
like,
fucking question because I had a good valid point to make, and then you like to ramble on
No,
about
you didn't have a
fucking
valid
nonsense.
point to make. You're an idiot.
No,
You're
and then you
crazy.
ramble on about nonsense that doesn't even matter.
How
You're
would
just talking
you
out
have
your
any
ass.
perspective in a space museum? Have you finished high school?
Obviously.
Okay, I don't think that's obvious. I
It's
wouldn't
pretty
say it's
easy,
obvious.
bro.
You
It's pretty
finished
easy to finish high
elementary school. Did you ever go to college?
I did.
Okay, did you study physics?
No, I didn't study physics, bro.
Okay, so you have no knowledge of the field at which you're claiming to be an expert, right?
No, they had blips. You could read like articles and pages about it, and I was
You
in
can go
there, I
on
was
the
sitting
internet
in-
and
I
talk
was
to other
sitting in there-
crazy
no,
people like you.
no.
Yes.
At the space museum.
That
I was
doesn't
in the
mean you have
cockpit.
any basis
I
of
was in the
knowledge.
cockpit of the alleged. I was in the cockpit of the exact size replicas and. some
CT,
of
I'll
them
be
were
right
even
back.
same exact
I'll
ones
be
that
right
they
back.
claim they use, bro.
That's
I was in
fake.
the cockpit of
That's-
these.
Hold on,
that's like
hold on.
Arizona.
Hold on. Just look. Can
I
you
was
see
in
the
the cockpit,
folding
bro.
chair here? Can you see the folding chair that this astronaut is sitting on?
Yeah,
No,
that's
I
the same
can't.
in the
No,
lunar
no,
lander.
Hold on.
That's
Definitely,
the
bro.
same
Hold
damn
on,
thing
hold on.
everyone's grandma has in their garage.
Hold on for a second. Wait. Potter Dusty, we've known each other for quite some time. You're an intelligent guy. Do you honestly believe in the 60s, when folding chairs were very popular, they would have taken a photo
That's how
of
dumb they think you are.
a makeshift vehicle and using the very same popularized seating mechanism?
Yes.
I don't
we
have
can
to
figure
believe
it out.
it.
Are you,
Love the
I
pubic
think you
mound,
want
Grace.
it to be a folding chair.
I don't
think
have
you
to
want it
believe
CT, I
it.
was sitting in the cockpit
This
of these.
is the photo. This is a NASA photo with the folding chair there.
Potter Dusty, do you really believe that is a folding chair, or do you want it to be a folding chair?
No, look at it. I don't have to believe shit. It's a folding chair. It's got the same cloth mesh background that grandma's folding chairs has, the same aluminum frame.
It's lightweight, and if it folds down, it's easier to transport. So what?
I think you want it to be a folding chair, buddy.
So what? Aluminum is lightweight,
I just
and if
want
it
to know
folds
how
down,
that
it's easier to
thing-
transport. So what? What is that?
CT, is that if that's not a folding chair, what is that? Is that a specially designed?
Well, obviously
NASA
it's sort of a chair, but you are implying that it is the exact folding chair that was in all of our grandparents' garages. Okay.
Yeah.
Does it look like a folding chair? Yeah, to a degree it does. But bro, trust me, it's not
is.
what was in your grandmother's
That's
garage.
exactly grandma's folding chair.
It is.
But so what if they were able to use a folding chair? What does that prove?
It's mockery. It's pure mockery, Ben. It's so fat.
He's trying to say that
real.
they just it's
But
this
you
is a
guys,
set. This was
problem with
made
these-
in a makeshift like bullshit by
The problem with the
you know,
paranoia
industrial light
is,
and
guys,
magic.
Moon landing definitely
You
happened,
say-
more likely than
you
me
say
completing one
that
push-up.
NASA was smart enough to have tens of thousands of people working for them.
They don't
No
have tens
one
of thousands
said a
of people
peep.
working for them, Ben.
Smart
They don't have
enough
tens
to
of thousands
get
working
the
for them.
entire rest of the world to shut their mouths, but stupid enough that morons like you can easily point out how
Yeah.
it's fake.
I probably
And
got
here's
Make
like
how.
that
100
make
of
sense.
these.
I can make it
That
make
makes
sense
sense.
if April Fools will shut the fuck up for a second and stop breathing his microphone. Here's how I can make it make sense. One, back then, not everybody had access to all the digital shit that we do now, so we've got a lot more trained eyes. Two, when's the last time you read a fucking Russian newspaper? You don't know what they were saying about it. They might have been calling it out the whole time. Three, Manhattan Project. We can have huge groups of people keep things secret for a long ass time due to compartmentalization.
Yeah,
That's true.
That's not
Manhattan
against other
Project.
people.
Okay,
but yeah,
so
it was a short period of time.
okay, hang tight. Richard Feynman worked on the Manhattan Project. Potter, you familiar with Richard Feynman?
Yeah.
Potter Dusty? And he was a young college kid. I think he was a master's student, and he didn't exactly know what he was working on. He said it. He said that he participated in. Okay, all right. Well, okay.
So, Ben, let me ask you, why do you think that the government cares about telling you the truth?
I agree that you're right. I think it's possible for conspiracies to occur, but only under limited circumstances. Small groups of people for a
A better
short period
question
of
is,
time.
do they not
It's
exist?
extremely risky, and governments rarely will risk like that kind of level of stuff.
Ben, how many wars have the U.S. been in that you can name that did not start with a false flag?
The Iraq War didn't start with a false flag.
None.
Where were the weapons of mass destruction?
Well, that's not a false flag.
No, that wasn't a false
9/11?
flag. That's just claims.
9/11 wasn't a false flag?
Okay. Let me rephrase the question.
9/11 was
Let me
by
rephrase the
Afghanistan and the Al Qaeda group. Iraq had nothing to do with 9/11.
Yeah, they took down 3 buildings, massively constructed concrete steel buildings with 2 airplanes. Guys living in the mountains.
Right, but like a moron
still
like
nothing
you,
to do
Lou,
with Iraq.
how
Iraq
would you
was not
know
a
what
false
effect a
flag.
747
Okay, you're right.
engine
I phrased the question wrong. Without bullshit, Iraq was
Without
bullshit.
lying to you, sure. They lied to convince the
every
people to
time,
get into war.
every fucking time. So
Right.
how many times
I
does somebody
agree.
have to lie to you before you go, you know what, this is not a credible source?
Look,
I think that this latest war, they basically said it's because the Israelis. I don't think they really lied. They offer propaganda that
with
they're
Iran,
going to
they
get a
really
nuclear
lied.
bomb, but it's fairly
That's
obvious
my
what they're
fucking
doing.
point.
You don't need a conspiracy theory about it.
yeah. But look, Dusty, I'll give you. Okay, let me lean into your moon
A
thing.
lot of silence from the
Change the
boomers.
title, Baby Doll.
There is some possibility that if the original moon landing was all fake, the reason America wants to get to the moon now before the Chinese is so that they can place all of the equipment that they were supposed to have left on the moon in the 60s, so that when the Chinese, 50s or 60s,
Oh my
so when the Chinese get there, they can't then debunk that America never made it to the moon.
But they're going there. They're just not
I'm not
stopping.
gonna lie, I zoned out halfway through what you were saying.
They're
No,
doing
but
the
what I'm
forward
saying is the reason
pushing-
they're rushing to get there now is so that they can put all that crap that was supposed to have been left there in the 60s.
Here they getting
By
prepared.
But they're
Apollo
doing the
team.
hardest part of the job and then not doing and leaving behind.
It changes the
easy
title of the
part.
video, or
Look
it
at
gets
these
the
beautiful
hose again.
astronauts, these heroes, making the way
Is
for
she hot to you?
mankind to. I'm sorry, what'd you say, Powder Duck?
Is she hot to you?
Of course not. No, come on, man. Are you nuts?
I would totally bang her in space if that was the only woman that I had access to.
I just find it interesting that a flimsy outfit like that can withstand the freaking vacuum of space. And
No,
not collapse.
that outfit does not go into space. This is what I mean about the fucking
okay, then
toasters,
take
dude.
even the ones-
What are you
even
looking?
the
That's
ones that-
not the
ones
one
that
that
they
goes
do-
into space.
Okay,
They don't
even
do
the ones
spacewalks
that
in
they
those
go-
fucking
yes,
outfits.
I agree. That is not one that they go out into actual space with. But even the ones that they go out into actual space with, have you ever seen how flimsy that they really are?
Lou,
You really
these are
think
the
that they're
high.
going to
These,
withstand?
these
Neither
are
of
their
you
hi-
know whether
Lou,
that's an
these are
outfit
their
you go
high
into
vis
space
orange
with.
spacesuits. These are what they direct traffic in.
Yeah, it's like it's mockery. It really is mockery.
It is. Nobody would risk their life to say, yeah, send me to the moon in 1969. No human would
I mean,
risk their
a lot
life
of
being
people
the
would do
first
that.
ones to go. It's all bullshit. There's none of that going
There's
on.
a lot
bro.
of people that would risk their life for that. I don't believe.
No. Not these
Have you guys
Freemasons that
seen
are
the
in high
footage
places
of them? Have you guys seen the footage of them taking off of the moon to go back to Earth?
Yes, yes.
There's
It's so
footage of
good.
that, right? So
Yes.
how did they retrieve that footage? Did they leave somebody behind and then they
It looks like
flew back
Fruity
after?
Pebbles were shooting out the back of the shuttle.
Yeah, like what is that? It's nothing but mockery.
And even look where they're
You
flying
guys,
out of.
you
It's
guys know that they
gaping
had
anal
radio
Florida.
transmission
Look
even
at
at
that.
that time, right?
CT
That's why
looks
they could
sad. I
get
feel
the
like we're
footage.
ruining
They were
CT's
using
dream.
No, not at all.
They didn't
No,
have.
not at all. I'm just being-
They couldn't
could have.
They were using film.
Yeah, but they could have had that footage radio transmitted to the cockpit and then recorded onto the cockpit. They had television in that time, for fuck's sake.
Yeah, I'm not.
It wasn't the
buying, bro.
time
It's
before
way too-
television.
it's
They
way
could beam
too
a
fucking
signal
out of
to your
whack.
home and show you shit in the 60s. In fact, prior to the 60s, 30s and 40s. So, yes, they could have had the camera running, and the camera was actually displaying in the cockpit, and they recorded it in the cockpit.
Bro, two
That-
people
that-
went
that
there and they both
technology
have
was
different
available
stories of
to
what they
them.
saw. How do two people go there and they both have different accounts of what they seen? It's fucking mockery, dude. Wake up.
Wake up, sheeple.
I'm sorry. I mean, if you can disprove, see, the other thing is, if you can actually disprove that man has never gone to the moon.
You want us to prove a negative there, bud?
No. Practically, it would make no difference to your lives whatsoever anyway. But the idea that we can achieve such things is actually the basis for all adventures and all advancements of humanity. As I said to CT earlier on, how many of the people of today would get on that first boat with Columbus? None of you fucks would. None of you fucks would get on that boat with Columbus because you think you're going to fall off the edge of the world.
Hold on. You think this is a religion. That's just what you said. It doesn't matter if it's real or if it's true or not. If you can believe in it, you're telling us to have faith.
No, I'm saying that if it didn't happen, it would be of no consequence to your lives whatsoever. But if it is true and it does happen, and this is what we can do, these are great strides that humanity is taking into the unknown. These are the wonders, advancements of humanity.
I used to work for, I built a rehab for drug addicts, and I used to use this term all the time when someone had trouble doing something.
Did you build it around yourself?
I used to say, look, we've been to the moon, we can do this, right? Until I started seeing so many anomalies. I mean, it's been years that I've looked into it, but there's too many anomalies that I'm not saying whether it happened or it didn't happen. I don't know for sure, but the anomalies have stacked up to a level that are difficult to ignore. Is all I'm saying.
actually haven't been to the moon. You're gonna OD. Have a nice life.
Well, yeah, it's pretty tough to ignore some of these.
Did you stop using that? Did you stop using that phrase once you figured it out?
No, I was already done with the program by the time I realized that.
I mean, personally,
here's the problem.
I think we should. Oh, Christ, just give me a sec. I think personally, when it comes to going to Mars, because I mean, obviously Earth is done. It's full of too many of you. Too many of you monkeys are running around, hitting each other with clubs. So we can't really deal with you lot. I think Elon Musk's ultimate goal is to take a select group of human beings to Mars and start afresh, because it's too many idiots. Too many of you toasters right now here just ruining shit. We got to filter out the toasters.
We just drove from Kansas City to New Orleans and back, and let me tell you, there is a lot of room out there for more idiots, more toasters. You live in the UK, so you wouldn't know. You're stuck on a little island.
No. I get it that there's this planet is just full of toasters. I'm saying
the problem is, guys, the people who have understood what's really going on are largely failures. They have less children. They are less happy. They have more mental illnesses. You've not noticed? Has no one ever noticed that?
Lower socioeconomic status is correlated with having more children.
Ben's divorced. He doesn't know what he's talking about.
It's complicated, the correlation there.
It's not complicated at all.
Yeah, it is. It's complicated because religious people have many more children. Many religious people are wealthy. The number one, who has the highest birth rate? What demographic in America has the highest birth rate?
Probably Catholics.
LDS.
Amish.
LDS.
The Amish.
LDS. No.
The Amish.
LDS. Utah. Oh, maybe Amish.
Are Amish allowed to use contraceptives?
Amish. Okay, and also Mormons are high. So both of those groups are pretty wealthy. So it's not as simple as like just some knee-jerk like kind of thing like that.
Right. If you only look at the wealthy West, if we're only looking at the U.S., but if we look globally, it's not complicated at all. There's clear cut. The more wealth a country has, the lower the birth rate.
Yeah, right. Ben, the religiosity is
and they're all facing demographic collapse. So that's not exactly success. Japan, though, has like technologically outpaced every other country, has had a 30-year economic crisis because their population is inverted from what it should be. But
Ben, some of us don't buy that. We think that's just an excuse for mass immigration. I mean,
I don't care what morons on the internet buy or don't buy. I care what successful people buy or don't buy. And that's largely a demographic that's inversely related to being on the internet on no shade to CT, but on an open panel talking about whether the moon landing happened.
Dude, shut the fuck up. You're like 50 living in a tiny ass bedroom.
Nah, he's
with your
right
daughter.
though. He's right. The white
Jeez.
families, a lot of kids. They're normies, man. They're normies. Mormons out here like 15 kids. One dude I know had 15 brothers and sisters, man. They're all normies though. They're not on the internet talking about the moon and stuff. That's weird. They're great about that.
Yeah, I tuned him out. I don't even know what he said. I just fucking hate his face.
Yeah, and life's gonna tune you
So
out,
can I
and I
shit-
can't wait for it to do that.
Man, Ben is so heartless at times.
He's-
So can I shit on
You
this
worthless
whole,
piece of
Give
trash.
up on him.
Worthless
Gonna have a
piece of
heart
trash. I can't wait till the universe takes the trash out.
What did the universe do to Lou Bass's eyebrows, though? Can you take your glasses off, Lou?
I think Lou got hit in the head at some point.
You got cocaine on your hat, dude. You're supposed to sniff it, not put it on your bill.
The problem is,
That bill gets in the way of hitting those lines.
I can't even say
That's what I'm
I
saying.
can't say it on here because CT will get mad. But you know when you're in between a set of legs, you know it rubs right here, right? So it just kind of rubs them off, right?
No. Hafez, does
Lou,
your hat
what are
rub
you
your eyebrows
talking
off?
about?
What?
Sorry, Dusty. What?
The hat rubs
Lou
your
Bass
eyebrows off?
position.
Lou's trying to say that hat bills rub your eyebrows off.
Oh, that's crazy, Cope.
Eating pussy does.
Look,
yeah.
Lou, it's okay, mate. No, some of us were not gifted with good looks at birth.
You're eating it wrong.
I'm sure you have other talents.
Lou goes to
Lou,
the
you're not-
doctor.
Your mommy
Hey,
loves
doc,
you.
The doc's like, "What happened to your fucking eyebrows?" He's like, "I've been eating a lot of pussy." And the doc's like, "Yep." All right, see you next.
Doctor's like,
See
I
you
thought
next year,
pussy
bro.
juice made you
stop
grow
eating it in the
facial hair.
back.
I thought pussy juice made you grow facial hair. What happened to that?
He's got
But
facial
clearly,
hair.
you haven't had any. You've been dealing with
I do.
desert.
Yes,
keep
yes. Yes,
No, I keep
I
it.
still can smell it.
Me too.
Hey Lou,
for real.
Smells good.
I want to give you credit,
like it
Lou, for
pungent.
that analogy you made, driving all the way to the store to circle the parking lot and come back. You know, to really just shit on this whole fake space bullshit. All you have to do, like I said yesterday, it's just a practical application of common sense. That's all you have to do. In particular, when it comes to the specifics, like you guys were talking about the spacesuits and shit. When CT started this stream today, he had some vintage footage on there. In that vintage footage, there was flawless communications from the moon to Earth, being about 293,000 miles away. No one has, over the years, no one has ever been able to tell me what that piece of equipment. Well, if you Google it, it says 298, 293.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, moon's a little closer. They say.
We're never gonna get there. Feast to type 1.
Yeah, no, we never will because it's all fake. I mean, hopefully, listen, CT. Hopefully, we do. You know, hopefully someday in the hundreds and hundreds of years from now, we have the technology. But
hundreds of years from now.
So anyway, yeah, no need to filibuster, my man. So check it out though. In that vintage footage that you showed at the beginning, it showed flawless communication between the moon and Earth, and right, and yeah, wow. So all I've been asking the last
what
couple
does that
of
mean?
years.
Okay, hold on a second. What does that mean? Okay, so when they were communicating from the moon to the Earth, which takes about 3 seconds. What does that mean? That it was flawless communication. Okay, what are you trying to say here, buddy?
Oh, sure. So all I would need, CT, you don't have an engineering background at all. It's more than obvious.
And neither do you.
Oh, really? I wasn't an aviation mechanic working on Russian aerobatic planes for a year in San Diego. I don't have an extensive aviation background maintaining naval aircraft.
What do you know about communications?
Twin-engine turboprop.
What do you know about communication?
I wasn't a marine mechanic either, fixing yachts and outboards. I didn't do that at all.
What do you
either.
know about comms?
I know one thing. When I was a kid, I watched one of the moon landings on a little round.
Hold on, look. Averrency.
My shit's cutting out. I'll be right back.
Is it plausible to assume, Averrency, the communication apparatus or devices used on these tin cans in the 60s or the 70s may have just been top secret information, may have been technology that wasn't readily available to the population at the time, or maybe, or just maybe, they got goddamn lucky. I have no idea. There could be 50 different reasons why. What is it? What are you trying to get at here?
Yeah, it makes perfect sense that Nixon.
Look, why are you trying to undermine the greatest achievement?
Nixon picked up a rotary phone.
I would like to finish talking.
Sorry,
I get it.
buddy. I thought you were done.
I get it up there and see, man. You've went down the rabbit hole. But why are you think about all of the things that human beings have done throughout history, all of the achievements, all of the mega structures. Oh, how is it so implausible to believe that the communication just worked that day? I have no fucking idea. What is so implausible about this shit?
Yeah, it just happened to work that day on the most important day.
They routed it into a wired phone.
It wasn't just a single day anyway.
Yeah,
and
it was a rotary phone.
the fact
Right.
is
Except
that
it's
they
a rotary phone,
actually
it just calls the
had
moon.
to they actually utilized Australia.
They routed it into a routed phone.
Be back in 3 or 4 minutes.
I don't know why he
Dude,
leaves.
I get trouble. Dude, I get trouble when I'm out in the sticks in the woods. I get trouble on my signal. Sometimes I gotta hold my phone up to get signal. How the fuck are they on the moon clearly communicating better than me in 2026?
Yes,
Don't make no
clearly,
sense.
clearly. God forbid if NASA had something more sophisticated than your
How does the signal
mobile
get through the
phone
space
and your
forest? Am I right,
T-Mobile
guys?
network.
You got to cut the forest down. You make a path through the forest, just like through the belt. You take the belt off, the Orion belt or whatever.
There is
Bro,
no
I lived on a
it's
farm
a
as a
radiation
kid that
belt.
we couldn't even
It's
have a
not an
direct
actual
line. We had
belt
party
of
lines.
a
And we'd have to
thing.
have different rings.
Then why
and we
would
could
they
hear
call
the
it a belt?
neighbors. We could
It's
hear
a
the neighbors
radiation
talking.
belt.
Like you'd hear two longs and a
It's not a
short was the
physical
neighbor. So
thing.
we as kids would listen
it's
in
not
on
like
their phone
meteorites
calls.
or some shit. We don't have like
But
rings of
Nixon
Saturn
fucking
around
called
Earth.
on a rotary phone directly to the moon.
Yeah. All I'm saying is you have to, like Hafez alluded to accidentally earlier, you have to want to believe it. To believe it.
You basically got to grow up a little Star Wars, Star Trek nerd, and
Doesn't
be
that
into
work
comic
backwards too,
books
though, Dusty? If you
and
don't, if you're inclined
be
not
into
to believe
space.
it, you're also not going to believe it because it's largely not something we have. Like common sense doesn't tell us much about.
You know what? You know, I believe you're right.
It could work backwards. Hold on, Lou. It could work backwards for sure. But I think that if we just take it or try to be objective and look at the situation and go, okay, we've got this institution telling us they did something, right?
Yeah.
First of all, do we trust the institution? No, not really. They've got a big history of lying, right? You think?
But also of telling the truth.
40 years later.
Well, I mean, most of what the government says is true. I mean, just like when they say, like, we're going to work on this highway, they work on it,
Ben,
right?
what the fuck?
Are you serious, Ben? You really believe that?
Yeah, like when the local mayor says we're going to work on. When you guys see a sign that says like you approach a bridge, do you trust that the government would put a sign there if there was no bridge? Or do you just go, it's pure faith? I mean, are you retarded or what?
Roads in
You wouldn't
Kansas
trust
City,
the government. You do. You wouldn't drive on the roads if you didn't trust the government.
Sure. We're not talking about local building inspector, though. We're talking
the more
about
local the government is, the better you can trust it. The further away it is from you, the more federalized, the more difficult it is to believe because it's all bullshit.
Well, the vast majority of what the government does,
and
you
then
and
you
I
guys
both trust.
vote for the lesser of
do you
two
believe
evils.
the Supreme Court is meeting right now? Do you guys believe that?
The Supreme
And they're having
Court-
discussion about birthright citizenship? Do you believe
Yeah,
that? How
the
about
Supreme
you,
Court-
Mr. April Fool? Do you believe that shit? I don't trust these niggas, right?
No, I don't
There's
trust none
got to
of
be
them.
some
The Supreme
basis of common
Court
sense.
is making American law. Isn't it supposed to be Congress or however the fuck it is? It's not the judges that are supposed to make law.
Lou, did you even take civics class? You fucking
I don't
retard.
have to take civics
It's a
class to know
constitutional
that
issue.
law has
The
to have a
fucking
process.
Supreme Court decides constitutional issues, you retard.
Lou is Canadian. Give him a break.
Whatever, but it makes no sense to me that about 9 people can decide what fucking 300 million people have to do by law. And it's not even a law, it's statutes, it's policies, it's codes. It's all corporate
laws,
bullshit.
retard. It's laws.
It's not laws.
Oh, he's a
Constitution is
sovcit.
not a legal document.
Uh-oh.
That's an oxymoron. Sovereign citizen is an oxymoron. It's like saying
But everybody knows what it means. That's how you know a sovcit. They tell you it's an oxymoron.
Yeah, that's true. Or they
It is
say,
an oxymoron.
"No, I'm just an American."
Cannot be sovereign and a
I'm just a
citizen.
free-thinking man.
I'm just a
You can't
free
be a
man.
sovereign and a citizen. And isn't that what America was created so that man can be the sovereign? And
Lou,
not
if
the
you got
government or
pulled
the
over,
king?
would you tell them that you were traveling and not driving?
Lou has a fucking driver's license. Don't let him lie to you.
Would you say
You
what?
see Lou drive all the time. He's got a license. He's got tags.
Would you clarify with the police officer that you are not a corporate entity?
He's moving his property.
Look, if you guys go, here's a perfect example.
I believe that there should be licenses for shoes, because one time there was a guy that had a bomb in his shoes, so we should license shoes.
That doesn't make any sense.
Good point, Lou.
For safety, for safety.
Good point, Lou.
It doesn't make any
How
sense.
do I know
Lou.
you don't got a bomb in your shoe?
Lou would have to explain the
We should
bodies in the
license
boot
you.
first.
You should make sure that you know that you can't have bombs in your shoes.
Well, we have
You guys are
licenses.
such cocks.
We have.
Okay. Hang tight, Lou. Hang tight. Okay. Let me talk to Hafiz. He's the only like-minded person on the panel. Hafiz, do you remember when Wi-Fi came out?
Yes, yes.
Okay, what year? What year?
Oh, 2000. I want to say like 10.
Okay. Is it plausible to assume that Wi-Fi may have already been out in the 90s? The government had already. Is it plausible to assume that we've already had this shit before, or we've always had it? It just wasn't available to the public.
Yes.
Is it possible to assume that the goddamn government in the 60s may have had?
Oh my god, dude! It's 1997. It was Wi-Fi was first released in 1997. Christ.
So think about this. We were still on landlines in 97. Grace, you're probably too young for this. We were on land.
Dial-up.
That's what it's called, a dial-up. Who's to say that they didn't have Wi-Fi in the late 70s, Hafiz? If it was 1997, right? Who's the fuck to say that we didn't have it in the 70s?
Yeah. Christ, I didn't realize Wi-Fi was so early in the 90s. We didn't even get... It wasn't commercially available till well into the mid-2000s.
Powder Dusty, I'm telling you, bro. That little 3-second delay, obviously because of the distance. Man, who's to say that they didn't have Wi-Fi then, or I don't know. I don't know what they could have had.
Another rudimentary version.
That wasn't one of my points. That wasn't. I could grant that. Like, I think it's silly to think probably that they had this great communication tech that they routed into Nixon's cord phone. Probably doesn't seem likely. But I didn't make that point because I can grant it. I can grant that they've got technology that they don't release at the time.
But Dusty, you can't grant it. Do you know why? What Aaron C is asking is for the specific piece of equipment. I just got kicked off StreamYard because I lost reception out here, and the mountains aren't even that big in this town. So like, that's why I'm kind of obsessed with the communication hardware device that was used. You see what I'm saying? So CT saying like, oh, maybe they had it. Maybe they had. Okay, well, I need to know what that piece of equipment was.
For you to okay. I'm not gonna let y'all spoil my goddamn moon launch day. All right. Who are you, Aaron C, that you need to tell? Oh, you better tell me the type of communication. Who are you to say something like that about the U.S. government? Who are you?
Well, it's funny, CT. That's the same.
Who are you?
That's the same response that the government gives me. Who are you, Aaron C? We don't have to tell you shit. So why would I blindly trust them? That would be retarded.
You did serve for them. You for damn sure served for them. You trust them.
Even if I wasn't in the military, I pay taxes that go to NASA. NASA owes us this information if it was real. That's why I know it's bullshit.
Mm-hmm. Look, CT, one thing I will say, now I'm shocked that Wi-Fi was actually released in 1997.
Thanks for having me up. The moon landing was fake.
CT just doesn't get it. I wish it was real, just like you, CT. We're not closed-minded. I wish it was real, just like you, bro.
All right, Toaster. Thank you.
You're a toaster.
One thing I gotta say. Now that I realize that 1997 was actually when Wi-Fi was available. Wi-Fi was available, but commercially, people didn't receive it in their home until well into the 2000s. But the fact is that what technology are they going to test now in this Artemis 2 that we don't even know about, that 10 years, 15 years from now that we're going to actually start receiving?
I swear to God, I feel like humanity is going through some fucking amnesia. Hafiz, did you know that airships in the goddamn 1910s and 20s were flying over the Atlantic Ocean with passengers? Are we fucking forgetting our history of technology, bro?
I know.
I think I am a dork now, Greg.
I know, I agree with you, but there, CT.
Bro, who's to say that we didn't have, bro? Who's to say that? Hey, President Nixon, you know, we can't really show them this iPhone. You know, it's not supposed to come out for another 60 years, but we're gonna have to use this old rotary phone because you know these people are. Bro, who's to say that they didn't have the iPhone back then, and it was all this bullshit with Nixon, you know, getting a 3-second delay? Who's to say, bro? Who's to say that they didn't have that back then? Bro,
CT, I'm sorry about calling you the N-word. I felt bad about it the whole rest of the day.
We're kindred racist spirits, bro. I would call you the hunky in the heartbeat, man.
It turns CT on a little
Cracker.
That hit catch, see, that's funny. Yeah, there you go.
So you guys think I'm so unreasonable because I'm just requesting to find out the piece of equipment used to beam a flawless radio signal 293,000 miles away about a...
I gotta go. I gotta go. I can't do. I'm going to actually rope. Fuck's sake. I'm not even gonna stream if that's what it is. That is just terrible. Thanks for having us up. Here you go. So we aren't going. Yeah, no, we're not going to the moon. I don't ever want to go back to that panel ever again.